Alright, so I'm going to make a tutorial on how to create a spawn point. You can also do multiple spawn points, randomize the spawn locations, and yeah, all that jazz. Alright, so initially, when you start a world, you will not have a spawn point. So I'm actually going to take a screenshot real quick. Bloop. Grab this. Okay, so this is your spawn point. It would be the VRC world descriptor. So initially, if you make a world, there will be one if you create it through the VR chat creator companion. However, if you open your project and you don't have a spawn point, you can look up VRC and you don't see a VR chat world descriptor. What you want to do is go to the VR chat SDK and you go to Builder here, and it will say Add VRC Screen Descriptor. Just click that. It will put it in your world. Make sure you have gizmos shown, which would be this little globe here. And you should have these options on by default, but just in case, make sure those are on and that it's not hidden here. And then you'll be able to find it. It will look like this. It will be a circle with a blue line for the direction you face when you spawn in. The green line will show you the up direction. So place this spawn descriptor where you would like it in your world. So I'm going to put it back over here where it was. Actually, I'm just going to reverse what I did because I don't want to have to redo that. So here it is. So once your spawn descriptor is in the world and lined up correctly how you would like it, mine's actually slightly off, so I'm going to fix this really quick. Try to make it close to the ground, because otherwise sometimes it will seem like you're falling into the world. This can be a little bit disorientating. But yeah, get that in there. Then what you'll want to do is go click on the object in the hierarchy, go over to the inspector tab, and you'll see your spawn points here. This is the only spawn point right now. You can add more by doing this plus arrow, selecting the other spawn point, and you just drag it, and you'll have multiple spawn points. But I am just going to use one right now, because that's what you're looking for. So in here you can change the spawn order. You can make it first, sequential, random, or demo. I don't really know what that is actually. And then this is default, automatically will align you with the spawn point. However, you can decide to have the player align depending on what you need to for troubleshooting here. For main camera, you want to make sure the main camera for your post-processing is selected. It will likely be the only camera in your scene unless you have a more complex project. So there's my main camera right there. You will also, you can forbid portals if it's like a rave world or something and you don't want that. For respawn, you'll want them to come back here. Network IDs will automatically populate when you enter play mode. You don't have to worry about this, but this is all the different tracking elements in your world will build up a script portfolio here called network IDs. That's pretty complicated. I'm not going to show you how to do that. For pipeline manager, you want to put your blueprint ID in if you already have a world. So for example, wrong thing. For example, let me make this slightly longer. There's my button. You want to hit fetch, you find your worlds, you can set whatever world you're working on as current, or you can copy the ID and you can just detach the current one and put it inside there. I'm just going to undo that because I don't want to change the ID. We're going to make this skyline bar. You can say set current and it'll be there. Didn't want to do it, so I'm gonna copy the ID and pop it in there. There we go. You'll also want to have a couple scripts here for your spawn in location. These should automatically populate if you use the VRChat SDK builder in order to put it in there. But if you haven't, what you'll want to do, let me get rid of this one. If you don't have them in there, what you'll want to do is click this, type in udon and behavior, behavior, like this. You'll get at this area here, and what you want to do is hit this and look for the specific things. You want to look for VRC world settings and VRC scale or avatar scaling settings. They're Udon graph assemblies. They should be in there for you if you need it. Once you put that in there, it will automatically load in the menus here that you see below, the public variables. And you can adjust these to be whatever you want for your world. You can make people so they walk faster, jump higher, all that kind of stuff. You can force a certain avatar height if you want with the always enforce height. Or you can disable avatar scaling altogether if you want people to spawn in as their default avatar size. I wouldn't recommend that because sometimes it can really mess things up to force that, but some people do that. Once you get all that done, then you just go over to the builder. Everything should be lined up here for you, and you'll always want to auto fix any errors you've got here. And you'll name your project, take a picture of the project, and upload. That's about all you gotta do to get that working. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me, and I can try to explain it in more depth or troubleshoot it with you. But yeah, that should be all you need to do for the world descriptor.